Hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is John, and in this video I want to explain to you the 4 stages of practice that you'll need to go through to have successful out-of-body experience. Now, this is not meant to be a tutorial video or an exhaustive or comprehensive list of techniques, but there are certain things that need to happen before you can leave your body, and so I want to walk you through those 4 main stages that you should be practicing for every attempt. Now, I left my body hundreds of times over a period of about 10 years of daily practice, and so I have found this strategy that I'm sharing in this video to be highly effective. Okay, so the first stage I would just call preparation. So this is a stage where you want to awaken a little bit of energy, start to relax the body, and begin to get the mind a little bit more concentrated. So the most efficient way I've found to do this is to simply do some tense and relax exercises. So tensing the body gently on an inhale and relaxing deeply on an exhale. So this is going to start to warm up the body and start to activate energy throughout your body. And you can just go through the body parts, lower legs, thighs, buttocks, core, forearms, upper arms. Find a way that makes sense to you. You can even just do the whole body all at once. And then relax and let it go. Now, it's very important here you do not tense beyond about 30% of your maximum effort. We really don't want to have any residual tension left over as we're going into our practice. So remember, we're not trying to get a workout, we're not trying to fatigue the muscles, we're just trying to activate energy throughout the body and then to use that to help us deeply relax. So this should really only take a couple of minutes at most. This is going to help give you a little more energy and a little bit better relaxation to carry you through your practice. So stage 2 is what I would call progressive relaxation. So here we're laying down, we're going to use some sort of progressive relaxation technique so that we're making sure our entire body is relaxing deeply, because we want to get the physical body to sort of melt away so that the energy body becomes more dominant in our awareness. So you can do this on the breath or not, it's up to you, but basically you're just going to relax your feet, relax the calves, relax your thighs, relax your buttocks. You're going to go through the whole body from feet to head, head to feet, whatever way makes sense to you. But you want to be very thorough here. A lot of times people are rushing to apply some of the exit techniques or the projection techniques. But when you get really good at this, if you can lay down and really deeply relax your whole body without falling asleep, you are going to have so much success in any style of meditation, but especially in these out-of-body pursuits. So the initial stage of preparation was just to help you be better at this stage here of progressive relaxation, which really sets the stage for how much success you're going to have when you're applying those exit techniques later on. Okay, so basically you're just going to do this until the boundary of your body starts to get a little blurry, until the shape that you're experiencing yourself as being is not the normal human shape. Maybe it's a little more expanded, a little more fluid. At that point, then you can move on to stage 3, which is the phase of using the syncing techniques. So the syncing techniques, these are the techniques that are going to get you into the trance state. And there's a lot of ways that people define the term trance, but we have a very specific meaning that we're looking for in the out-of-body practices. So I would define trance as the state of being mind awake, body asleep. So you need to relax really deeply here, and this is really the first major hurdle that people encounter generally, because it takes quite a bit of training to get your body to be fully asleep without having your mind fall asleep as well. So this is going to take a good bit of energy cultivation. It's definitely going to take concentration. But as you continue with the practice, you will be able to move into those deeper levels of consciousness while still remaining awake and aware. So basically for this stage, you're just employing some type of syncing technique. And the classic one would be to imagine yourself in an elevator and feel that elevator moving down and seeing the walls moving around you, and just you're trying to give yourself a feeling experience of sinking. So you're sinking down, sinking down, sinking down. You could imagine yourself as a feather floating down, For all my fellow rock climbers out there, this is one I use because I've spent thousands of hours hanging from a rope at this point. I imagine pulling the lever on my belay device and slowly descending the rope calmly and free of fear. So you have freedom to come up with your own technique here, but basically you want to create the sensation in your body of moving down, and you can melt into the floor and sink below the floor. Find something that works for you, try different techniques, but when you find one that really feels good and you found to be effective, just stick with that. Just keep practicing that one, because you're going to start to reinforce that technique with neural pathways and building these habits of thought. And so it's really beneficial to get into a nice routine here. Okay, so eventually you arrive at this state we're calling trance, right? So mind awake, body asleep. And you're going to know when you get there. There are different levels and degrees of trance, so this is not always going to feel the same. You won't have the same experience every time, but you will always know when you get there. So for me, generally what happens is the sensation of the body is gone, and I feel this energy, like all my energies internally are coming together, and I become more awake. And if there was any danger of falling asleep before, now I feel like it's not there. Like all of my energy has become consolidated and concentrated, and now I'm existing just as an energetic being, and I don't feel any sort of sense of physicality anymore. Now that's just how I interpret that experience, so don't make my description your goal. Just keep doing the syncing practice until you have your trance experience. So whether you feel like what I'm describing or something else, it's not like one is right and one is wrong. If you keep going with the practice, you will arrive at that trance state. Okay, so we're in trance, and now it's time to apply an exit technique. So basically this is the opposite of the syncing technique. Now we're going to do create some sort of movement that is bringing us up and out of the body. So the classic one here is to imagine yourself climbing a rope and feeling your hand grabbing this rope and pulling and grabbing this rope and pulling, and you're lifting your body up, and you're really creating this strong feeling experience for yourself, but your physical body is still totally asleep, completely relaxed, no muscular tension, no movement at all. You're purely just imagining this, but you're trying to imagine it very intensely with a lot of focus so that you actually are experiencing this as if it were happening right now. Okay, so of course there are other ways to do this. You could be climbing a ladder, you could just be floating up with the power of your chi, but basically you want to start to just rise upwards and continue moving up. Maybe you can just imagine yourself becoming lighter and lighter and lighter, floating up. You can imagine yourself having a jetpack and literally just flying up. It really doesn't matter, but we want to create that movement. So find something that works for you, keep going with that, and when you start to get close to leaving your body, you'll feel this swirling, rushing, whooshing, vibrational type of experience, as if you're being like sucked out of your body. And a lot of times people will abort at that time on accident. And the reason is because maybe it's uncomfortable, it freaks you out, maybe you get really excited, like, oh, it's happening, it's happening. So you have this emotional reaction to that experience, and that emotional reaction is doing this to your energy pattern, and that breaks your relaxation, and it causes the attempt to abort. So this is sort of the final hurdle in the training, is to apply all these techniques, move through these stages, get to where you feel like that exit is happening, but still you're just right there, calmly experiencing it, not judging it, no fear, no excitement, no anxiety. You have to be perfectly calm, or else you'll throw the whole thing off, because that emotional reaction that you're having, it's happening here in your physicality, and so it snaps you back. So you have to learn how to manage that. And of course, that comes with time. So obviously it's going to be very exciting at first. It could be scary because you're experiencing something you've never experienced before. You've read about it, you've wanted to do it, you've heard about it, but now it's actually happening, and there's nothing that can really prepare you for that. You have to go through that experience for yourself. Okay, so my biggest advice to you, my best advice to you, is to understand that that state of trance is a highly, highly valuable and desirable place to be. So there's so many wonderful things that happen when you can reach that state and when you do it often. It's just so wonderful, and unfortunately, many people don't really get the full benefit of it because they see it as a form of failure. So you feel like you got to trance, but you didn't get out. And you've been to trance 100 times and you've still never been out. And it becomes a source of frustration and failure and disappointment when really it's actually such a wonderful and rewarding place to be. You're training your consciousness to go down to these deeper levels where normally people are unconscious and unaware. And it's just going to bring such this wonderful consolidation and concentration of energy, and coupled with the deep relaxation that is present at that stage, it's just highly, highly regenerative, restorative, and amazing. So I hope you can shift your perspective in that and understand that I want to help you avoid the trap of feeling like you're always failing. Like you either get out or you fail. You get out or you fail. That's going to hold you back. And you start to deepen that groove of failure and disappointment and frustration. And so now you have these emotional patterns and habits of thought that are working against you. So please understand that every stage of this process is really wonderful and beneficial and just such a wonderful thing to be doing. And the other thing is to just don't rush through it. People often want to rush to apply the exit techniques, and it's so much better to do the opposite. Really take your time. Putting as much deep feeling into the tense and relax as possible. Really deeply experiencing your body relaxing, moving through all the various parts of the body. Taking your time, enjoying that feeling of sinking, that sinking sensation, arriving at trance. If you really apply yourself to those techniques and you work through them faithfully every time, you're going to be so much more successful than if you just keep trying exit, 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 exit. Okay, so I hope that helps you. So quick summary, you do preparation, tense and relax, the most time efficient way to do that. Then you do progressive relaxation, moving through all the parts of the body, feeling them release. Then we apply the sinking techniques. And then we apply the exit techniques, lifting up, floating out. So I really hope this helps you. I encourage you to just make a habit of practicing and just release all your expectations. Nothing is success, nothing is failure. You're just going through these stages, learning, practicing, and growing. And I'm sure you will find the experience you're looking for at some point. So please let me know if you have any questions or there are more things you're wondering about. I made this video in response to a comment I got on my last video describing my first out-of-body experience. If you haven't seen that video, it was definitely the most transformative experience of my entire life. So I suggest you go watch that. And please feel free to reach out to me because I've been where you are, and I put in the time, and I had all these experiences, and I'm happy to help in whatever way you need. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best with your practices and with your life. And I hope to see you next time. Peace.